What's going on, guys? It's Taylor with Apex Hosting, and today we are going to go over what you need to know about the Aether Minecraft mod. We all know about the Nether and the End, but if you're looking for a way to add a completely new dimension to the Minecraft game, that is what the Aether is going to do for you. Before we jump into all of the new bosses, items, and mobs you might come across, let's go over how to install it. Head to the Aether on CurseForge and then select Files at the top, and once you're there, you can find the game version you want to use, and then press the download button to the right-hand side. Save this file somewhere you can get to in just a minute, and then you can start with the client install, making sure you have Forge installed on your Minecraft launcher. Once that's done, start up that launcher and enter the installations area, and from here, find your installed Forge profile and enter the open folder icon on the right-hand side. In that new window, you can find and open the mods directory, and then you can place that Aether mod file into the folder and return to the launcher. Finally, you are ready to install it on the server, so head towards your Apex server panel, stop the server, and make sure you're running a matching version of Forge to the mod that you downloaded. After this, click FTP file access, log in, and then find the mods directory, and on this page you can click upload in the top right, and then drag the Aether file into the upload area. Once it's 100% uploaded, just use your server name at the top of the page to return to the main panel, restart the server, and then join with your Forge profile in the launcher. Because this mod introduces a new dimension, you aren't going to notice anything different at first, but once you're transported, you'll be met with the floating islands full of new mobs. In order to reach the new world, you're going to have to first collect glowstone for its portal frame. You're mostly going to find this in the Nether, but you can also come across it in villager trades too. Once you have that, build the portal like you regularly would, and then use a water bucket to activate it. Before you jump in, make sure you have plenty of building blocks, food, and resources to keep you going. Depending on your spawn location, you might be able to see blocky clouds high in the sky with islands surrounding them. It might be difficult to move from one spot to another, but you are given a golden parachute to safely navigate the environment. Players can right-click while holding this item to gently fall down towards where they want to go. You can search for a good place to begin your journey, but your parachute doesn't last forever, so make sure you don't waste too much of its durability right away. When you find a good place to start, you'll want to start by mining skyroot trees to collect their wood. This allows you to create needed materials to craft new tools and weapons. The second tier of items to create is holystone, which is essentially normal stone in the regular world. Their recipes are also vanilla, meaning players can craft a pickaxe in the same way you usually would, just with the new materials in its place. As for new ores, you're going to find 3 new types: ambrosium, zanite, and gravitite. The first is basically coal, and it's going to allow you to create torches to light up the darkness. As for the other 2, they're used for crafting equipment. Keep in mind that gravitite ores have to have blocks above them so they don't float away, so watch for this when you're mining them. Zanite is going to be the most common one to find, and you can use it for armor, weapons, tools, and cosmetics. Each craftable item from these ores follows the normal recipes, with a few that require an extra step in between. For example, with gravitite gear, it needs to be smelted in an altar before being used. There is a lot to take in, so I do recommend using something like the Just Enough Items mod so you're able to find and understand all of the new recipes. If you're wanting to truly understand your new equipment or materials, then using the Book of Lore is going to help. This item is automatically given to you from the start of entering the Aether dimension. All you have to do is open the book and place an item inside to start reading about it. This is a good way to compare the ores that you have to see which one will work better for what you need. By now, you should start to see the tons of new creatures roaming around. These range in size, strength, and abilities, and some of them can even fly. There are a ton to go over, but some of them include the Moa, which resembles a dinosaur and is completely hostile towards any player. If you find yourself in combat with this creature, you're going to notice they shoot at you. Once you're hit with a projectile, an inebriated status effect is given to you, which will make your character involuntarily move around and have distorted vision. There's also the Sweat, which comes in blue and yellow colors. These are also hostile towards players and will attach themselves to your character, hurting you in the process. That being said, they do have good item drops, including glowstone, air cloud, and sweat balls. And finally, the Zypher, a cloud mob that spits giant snowballs at players. This is hostile and should be avoided if you can, but you won't encounter them too much since they're always in the sky. Aside from exploring islands and mining minerals, you can also encounter unique dungeons full of traps and mobs roaming around. A common one to find is a stone-like maze with chests scattered around. Half of these have loot, while the others are going to have monsters, and there will be special rooms filled with bosses that require specific interactions to initiate the fight. This could be the Valkyrie Queen, Slider, and the Sun God. The Sun God will need you to start dialogue before you can fight, while the other two need specific items, or just being attacked first. After defeating one of these bosses, a key is dropped to open a chest filled with powerful items. If you're unhappy with how the Aether mod acts in-game, you can also tweak its settings in the configuration files. To do this, you're going to want to head to your FTP file access from the panel, and then on the next page, click the config folder. And once you're there, find and press edit to the right-hand side of Aether Legacy CFG. Make any changes that you want in the panel editor, click save at the top, and then return to the main server panel and restart the server. Now, before we jump into the common issues, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our future videos. In cases where the Aether isn't working on your server, double check to see if you downloaded the correct game version. There are only two options to use, 1.7.10 and 1.12.2. The version needs to match your server's type, as well as the forged version that you're running on the launcher. If you're unable to apply any config changes, whenever you tweak the mod settings, make sure you're saving the changes in the file editor. You also need to make sure you aren't changing any of the formatting. For example, deleting a space or capitalizing an option can break the file. But those are the basics of what to expect in the Aether mod, so if it looks like something you want to experience, give it a try, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more great content like this, then subscribe or click these videos. Until next time, gamers.